Hey everybody, it's Michelle from michelleandloyd.blogspot.com. And today I'm going to be talking about restoring a broken relationship. So let me ask you, is there a relationship in your life that needs to be restored? Are you possibly fighting with someone that you love? Could be a spouse, co-worker, your child, even a friend. There may be somebody in your life that the affinity and the closeness that you once had for them is slowly diminishing, and you're kind of wondering, how can I restore this relationship? And maybe you're at the point where you're like, this relationship is never going to be restored, and you're kind of just feeling like you're stuck with it. I wanted to share with you today my story of restoring the relationship I have with my daughter's father. So, a few years ago, 3 years ago to be exact, my daughter's father and I had a terrible breakup. And it took a very long time for us to restore our relationship. And I remembered that there was a time that I really felt like, he was wrong. And, he was clearly the problem. The only reason why we were having problems is because he was being a jackass. You know what I mean? Totally wasn't me, it was him. And more specifically, I felt that the problem was that he was just an angry person and everything got him angry. So I took a lot of like personal development programs. And in one of the programs that I took, someone said to me, he's angry and he's that way with you because you always allow him to be that way. And I was like, what do you mean I allow him to be that way? He's just angry. I can't make him be angry. He's like that. You don't understand. He's angry. And she was letting me know that as long as I continue to believe that he's always angry, he'll always be that way. And I really thought it made no sense. I'm not going to lie to you, because I was like, it's not even just my opinion. Everyone thinks he's angry, so don't make it be like it's my fault. So I kept having problems with him. We kept fighting, we kept arguing. And at one point, I was pretty sure I was going to go for custody for my child because I didn't want him in my life. I can't believe I was one of those women that were trying to possibly take custody from the father, but I was just so frustrated. And then there's a turning point, and I realized that he couldn't be any other way with me besides angry, because even when he was actually not being angry, I turned it around like he was being angry. So, like, let's say he was late, or I was late to pick her up. I would assume that he would just be angry. So when I would drop her off and I'd see him, he could say, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'd be like, "Shh, leave me alone," because I was so ready for him to be angry. And then when I would get angry, he would get angry, and then we would be in an argument. So what I decided to do was I made up that he was peaceful. Now, stay with me here. I really made up that he was a peaceful person. And I said that the only way that I'm going to relate to him is a peaceful person, and that's it. So when he started doing things, just being himself, I always remembered, well, for one, he's peaceful. Even if it doesn't seem that way, he is. And something I want to add is I also made up that he thinks I'm peaceful. Okay, so I kind of tricked my mind here. I made up that he's peaceful, and I also made up that he thinks I'm peaceful. So because I did that, how I behaved with him as a peaceful person because I made up in my mind that he was peaceful. So I want to like bring you into a real situation so it makes sense. So let's say he calls and says, "Let me speak to my daughter." I'd say sure. Okay. I would just say sure. If it seemed angry, I'll say no problem, because I'm like, he's peaceful. Maybe he's having a bad day. Not, oh, this is how he always is. So maybe he's having a bad day, whatever. And instead of replying back to him and getting angry, I would be peaceful because, you know, he knows I'm a peaceful person. I was imagining that he thought of me as Mother Teresa. So this is what happened. As time went on, what I like to call, I made peace deposits. I had been depositing peace into our relationship so much that in time, he really did view me differently. And honestly, I began to view him differently as well. He actually is a pretty peaceful person, okay? And he's wonderful. And he's an amazing dad and a great co-parent. I couldn't have asked for anyone any better. But I realized that I had to take full responsibility for how our relationship was going, not for himself, but I took full responsibility for the kind of relationship that I had. It was a tough pill to swallow, but once I did swallow that pill, I realized that I can take responsibility for how the relationship has gone, and the great news is that I can have a big hand in how it's going to move forward in the future. So when I really made up that he's peaceful and that he sees me that way, in time, we really built a friendship. And, you know, there's just nothing better than being friends with the father or the parent of your child. Like, beyond it being a wonderful for your child, I mean, he really is my greatest ally and for my daughter. So it's just a great feeling to have that in my life. And I can tell you, we really, I hated him. We really did not like each other after for a while. And I didn't know how we'd ever have peace. And I at some point kind of was like, maybe this will just never happen. Maybe my daughter will never see us happy. But we go out together, we celebrate birthdays together, not just hers. You know, we're a family, even though we're not in a relationship. And that is truly a relationship that had been fully restored, better than it was from even the beginning. And, you know, I'm not sure what relationship this can connect to with you, but I'm sure there's some relationship in your life that could be better than it is right now. And I really want you to know that me sitting here right now is a testament that if you really do want to restore your relationship, it can happen. It may not happen the way it happened for me, you know, but you can have whatever it is that you want to have in your relationship because you can create it. You cannot control what someone else will or won't do, but I can tell you this, people have a way of fulfilling on your expectations of them. And when my daughter's father saw that I expected him to be peaceful, he began to just show up that way. So it's like, if he said anything to me that I thought was like not peaceful, I'd be like, wow, are you okay? And it's not to say I was being fake or not myself, but I authentically made up that he was peaceful. And it is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life because, as I said, having her father as my greatest ally for her, to me, is how it kind of should be. And it's just great that my daughter has both her parents in peace. So just imagine what resolving this, whatever relationship that you might be thinking of, how that could impact your life. I hope that you got some great value in this video on restoring a broken relationship. And again, thank you for watching. Thank you for reading. You guys are really on a journey with me and my dad, and we're loving it. We're growing, and we're just so happy that you have joined us for the ride. This is Michelle from michelleandlloyd.blogspot.com. I look forward to seeing you very soon.